the BC Supreme Court has upheld an American Indigenous man's right to hunt this side of the border. The ruling came after the judge found that the man's citizenship carried less weight in the matter than the traditional territory of his people. Richard DeSoto was charged with hunting without a license and hunting without being a resident under the Wildlife Act, after shooting and killing a cow elk near Castlegar, BC. In 2010. Read more. First ever national gathering of Indigenous elders underway in Edmonton. DeSoto is not Canadian. However, he is a member of the Lakes tribe of the Colville Confederated Tribes in Washington state, and lives on the Colville Indian Reserve. In March, a provincial court judge accepted DeSoto's defense that he was exercising his right to hunt for ceremonial purposes. The Crown appealed that ruling, arguing that due to his citizenship, DeSoto could not be considered an Aboriginal person of Canada. But in a ruling delivered Thursday, the BC Supreme Court upheld the lower court ruling. Read more. Would you rename BC? First Nations artist wants new name for the province. It ruled the U.S. Lakes tribe descended from the Sinixt people, who were declared extinct by the Canadian federal government in 1956. The Sinixt traditional territory included an area surrounding the Arrow Lakes in BC's Kootenay region, and covered mostly land that lies in what is present-day Canada. In his decision, Justice Robert Sewell also found denying DeSoto the right to hunt would run contrary to Canada's goal of reconciliation. I find that recognizing that the Sinixt are Aboriginal people of Canada under S. 35 of the Constitution is entirely consistent with the objective of reconciliation established in the jurisprudence, he wrote. In my view, it would be inconsistent with that objective to deny a right to a group that occupied the land in question in pre-contact times and continued to actively use the territory for some years after the imposition of the international boundary on them. Read more. Thousands walk for reconciliation in BC. The Colville Tribes is very pleased with this outcome, which affirms the position we have always held, that the Sinixt people in Canada are not extinct on either side of the border, and have the right to hunt in their historic territories, said Colville Confederated Tribes Chairman Michael Marchand in a statement. The original provincial court, and now BC Supreme Court ruling have also breathed new life into a fight for recognition by Sinixt people in the Kootenay region. Their lands were transferred to the Crown when the Sinixt Arrow Lakes Band was declared extinct more than 6 decades ago. A Sinixt group, much of whom live in the Slocan Valley, has been fighting preserve archaeological sites and ecological features of the area. In November, the Regional District of the Central Kootenay, RDCK, passed a motion supporting the group. It also called for the government to hold off on granting reserve lands to another First Nation in their traditional territory, and called on the federal government to reverse the extinction designation.